Hello and welcome to another vendor spotlight video by ASAPro. My name is Steve, and today we're going to be taking a look back at the get together that we had in Lancaster, Pennsylvania at the Candy Factory Media Studio, where we had the pleasure to host Seth Noble from Data Expedition to talk about their very useful tools to transfer data into the cloud. Take a look.
So we are going to start today with a company called Data Expedition, and we have Seth Noble on the other end of the line. And with no further ado, take it away.
All right. Well, we are Data Expedition Incorporated. We've been around for more than 20 years, helping companies all over the world, hundreds of customers, thousands of users worldwide, move data across wide area networks. I'm Seth Noble. I'm the CEO and founder, also the inventor of the technology. Unable to be with us here today is Dana Merck, Vice President of Business Development. If you get involved with us, you'll probably talk to him a lot as well. What we do is really very simple. We make software for moving data across networks as quickly and as reliably and as simply as possible. If you take nothing else away from this presentation, just think software and moving data fast. This concept is important in a lot of different areas because, of course, everybody needs to move data these days, and there's a lot of it. Data sets never get smaller and networks aren't getting slower. But when you're talking about cloud and media and entertainment together, you really have a critical path involved in any workflow because, of course, with cloud, your data is always somewhere else. It's always out there in the cloud, and the only way to do anything in the cloud is to move your data over a wide area network like the internet or a dedicated path to get that data there. And once the data is in the cloud and you do whatever cloud magic you want, whether it's processing the video, re-encoding it, doing timestamps, quality control, adding advertising, all of that stuff doesn't matter until you get the data back out and actually distribute it somewhere. So every cloud story begins with moving data from wherever it is, whether it's in a data center or on a camera in the field somewhere, getting it up into the cloud, and then eventually moving it back out. The real challenge, though, is that the traditional mechanisms for doing this really aren't very good. A lot of people, when they first get involved in cloud, are surprised at how often the big hyperscale cloud vendors say, this is somebody else's problem. For moving data around, they do offer some very basic solutions based on legacy technology. For example, you can go onto Amazon's website, go to your Amazon Web Services console, select your S3 bucket and say, I'm going to upload a file through my browser, but it's really slow. And if it's a big file, it's probably not going to finish. So they offer some basic workarounds like their S3 acceleration, which is kind of a reverse CDN. It lets you send the data to your local Amazon data center, and then it goes over their network. But their own engineers tell us it only works about 2% of the time. And it costs a lot of money. You're paying by the gigabyte for that. Or you could go the heavyweight route and get a leased line, a direct connection from your office or data center into Amazon. But that's like thousands of dollars a month. And it's only good for one place. What a lot of people, particularly in media and entertainment, end up having to do is fall back on the old station wagon full of tapes, or in Amazon's case, it's called Snowball, where they ship you a hard drive and you have to walk it around to your computers, fill it up and ship it back. Obviously, that takes a lot of time. It's very labor intensive and you can make a lot of mistakes. So our philosophy is you've got a network and internet connections these days are cheap and fast. So let's move the data over the network. And the way we do that is with our proprietary transport protocol called the Multipurpose Transaction Protocol, or MTPIP. The secret sauce are algorithms that allow it to intelligently adapt to the network as the network changes millisecond per millisecond. What that means in practical terms is that you put the software on a computer in your office, on a laptop in the field, or in a data center, and you can move data up to the cloud as fast as the underlying infrastructure can handle it without you having to turn a lot of knobs and dials and figure out how to tune it. It figures itself out automatically so that wherever your data is in the world, it can get up to the cloud at maximum speed. And after all, if you're paying for a gigabit connection to the internet, you should be able to move data at a gigabit per second. With traditional technologies based on TCP/IP, like the kind that you get from the cloud vendors, you're often seeing tremendous slowdowns if you're going a long distance, if you're going across continents or even across the country. The data just doesn't move as fast as you think it should. And that's where our technology is able to come in and provide that acceleration. Now, there are a bunch of other people out there who talk about similar things, and you may have heard of a few of these. For example, IBM Aspera is very well known in the media entertainment industry, as much for their cost as they are for their ability to move data. Their software, especially since they were taken over by IBM, has become very, very expensive. And it's very high maintenance as well. It's not just the cost you pay for the software and per gigabyte, it's the cost of having engineers keep track of it and deploy it and make sure it's going to work in all the different environments. File Catalyst, another competitor of ours, well, they used to be. They were recently bought out by Help Systems. They're going away in a couple of years. Signiant, another company, Media Shuttle, that you might have heard of, they're actually very good at file management and compliance. Acceleration, though, is not something they really focus on. And we actually recommend them if what you need is a file document management system, but for performance, they actually offer very little advantages. And up here also, Google Quick. If you've used Chrome, you've probably used Google Quick. This is their technology that they optimized to do really fast search transactions. It's very good at that, just like ours is. But for speed, they say it gives you about 5% faster throughput under ideal conditions. Bottom line is, we are the only company that offers flexible high-performance data transport that can work across all different kinds of networks for an affordable price. And the way we do that is by being very, very focused. We do one thing and one thing only, and that's data transport. We don't try to make immediate asset management system. We don't try to make a document management system or compliance system. We just focus on the transport aspect and make it really easy to integrate with other workflows and other systems so that you can assemble a best of breed solution. We do that through a number of different products. The one that's most cloud focused is aptly named CloudDAT. This is what lets you send data directly from your desktop, laptop, soon your mobile device, up into the cloud storage, whether that is file system storage or S3 object storage, at up to 2 gigabits per second per upload. You can move a lot of terabytes really, really fast with just a commodity gigabit or multiple gigabit connection to the internet. And again, you save a lot of money because we're able to achieve those speeds on a commodity internet connection versus trying to spend money on a dedicated connection. CloudDAT is the focus for going up into object storage, but underneath it is a product called Expedat, which is general purpose data transfer for both end users and integration. With all our technologies, because we're so focused on the aspect of data transfer, we put a lot of features and a lot of work into making sure that we can work with other software. For example, Expedat has very scriptable command line clients. We have software development kits that let you do web APIs from your web system through our API server, or all the way down to actual object code libraries that you can integrate into an EXE. All of this allows you to take our products and either use them on their own or in conjunction with other software. There are a lot of different people using our products, not just in media entertainment. Media entertainment is one of our biggest markets, but because of the flexibility of the technology, we also work with the military, with legal, with energy. Pretty much every industry out there has some need for it, and we work with everybody. So we have a lot of experience with cloud, not just from the M&E perspective, but also from perspectives like legal industry, like software development. And so we can put together a lot of different pieces to the performance puzzle. In addition to our end user products, and in keeping with that theme of integration, we really like to work with different partners like ASAPro, who are able to come in and bring the expertise to assemble a full media workflow. Again, we just provide the transport part, and we make it really easy for someone like ASA to come in and work with, say, a big sports production that needs to move their data from a pandemic bubble up to their home office, so you can do all that production in real time. In addition to workflow partners like ASAPro, we also work with a number of different product partners who are able to take our software and put it inside or alongside their products to provide that data transport component. For example, EditShare is known for their cloud-based media asset management and video editing software, and they very often recommend us for the part that's really important at the beginning, where you actually get those videos up into the cloud. Recently, we just completed a case study with WGBH out of Boston, working with Cloudian, a storage provider, who gave them terabytes of storage so that they could archive 70 years worth, sorry, not terabytes, petabytes of storage to help them archive 70 years worth of media assets, going all the way back to the early 20th century, and some very delicate film that's being digitized. So we really love to work with partners like ASAPro and product partners to provide you with a solution that can encompass your whole media asset workflow and really help you get that data up into the cloud. Because again, I can't emphasize enough how many times I've seen people start a cloud journey and forget about that data transport component. We see quite a lot of our business from people who have gotten several months in and then realized, uh-oh, the data is not getting there and we're several months behind. So if you want to leave you with one message, just think software, data transport early. The sooner you start thinking about how you get the data there, the easier it'll be. Again, we have a lot of different experience with cloud. And so even if it's not a question about data expedition, if you have any questions about things we've seen in moving data around between data centers or up to the cloud, happy to be here as a resource for you. Thank you.